This is J.G. Hertzner. You're listening to NX 7062 Podcast.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. It is the 7062 Podcast. Hello, Robert. Thank you so much. I feel like you guys are now in a race to see who can be the first person in the chats to say hi. So, hi. So glad, Robert, that you joined us. And as your reward for being first, you got my JG intro. Actually, I would have played that anyway. It was his turn in the rotation, but always love having my JG kind of give me that little intro. Hello, hello, hello. As you're going to see me rubbing my hands together, it is a chilly night, chilly, rainy night here in my undisclosed location in New Jersey. Happy Monday, Faith. Always so glad. And you're here on time. Look at that. You saw your Facebook alerts in time. So glad you guys are all here. You all know I do have a special guest coming up in a few minutes, but we've got some stuff to take care of first. I don't know if War Dog is going to be showing up, but I wanted to say this at the very, very top. If War Dog and Domestic show up, I'll say it again. But I wanted to thank them both. They just celebrated their 1-year anniversary as patrons of the NX 7062 podcast, and I absolutely love that. I love the support. It helps me get to Vegas so that I can ask all the questions for all the, do all those interviews for you guys when I can. If you guys are all interested in becoming a patron, it's really easy. Head over to Patreon, and it starts as low as $1. And there's thank you gifts depending on which tier you pick. There are thank you gifts. I've named all the tiers after Enterprise episodes. I made them all fit. So you guys have to go check that out because that's just the fun part. Podcat. Hello, Podcat. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, I would love it if you guys could join me on Patreon. And again, happy anniversary to my 1-year patrons, Domestic and War Dog. Maybe I'll think of something nice to do for them. It's just, I just realized it today. So look in time. Happy anniversary on your being a 1-year patron, War Dog. Thanks so much for your patronage. I really appreciate it. You've also bought some of my merch, which I absolutely love. So thank you so much, War Dog. What else do we have going on? The Orville, unfortunately, which was supposed to be on Hulu season 3, next month got postponed. It's now June 2nd. There was actually an argument, an international argument on one of the pages. I'm assuming it was an Orville page, all about dates, because here in the States for June 2nd, we would write it 6 to either 22 or 2022. But in a lot of the rest of the world, they write it the other way. So June 6th would read 2/6/2022. And there was this whole argument on Facebook about who writes the better dates and how I guess that had something to do with people not understanding when the Orville was going to be live on or be streaming on Hulu. It was a very interesting debate. I kept my opinions to myself. Sometimes it's just really interesting to read those arguments or debates, I should say. Sometimes it's just really interesting to read the debates and then you just keep your hands off the keyboard. What else is going on? Okay, so an update on Noah Averback Cats. I have spoken to him. We were hoping to get him on in February. We're now shooting for March. And the reason that we are shooting for March is because his lovely and talented wife, Mary Weissman, is going to be in a play. It's called At the Wedding. It is running from March 5th to April 17th. I'm not sure if that's previews and then they're going to move on. But right now, those are the dates. And I know Noah said it's going into previews. I don't know that much about the stage, so I don't know if the previews are March and April, and then they'll look at widening the schedule. It is in New York City at the Lincoln Center Theater. So anybody that is on the East Coast that was thinking about a lovely little trip to New York City, either March or April, go check out Mary Weissman in her play, especially not only because it looks like it's a really fun evening at the theater, but one of her co-stars in the play is Carolyn McCormick, who you guys all may know as Minuet from the TNG first season episode 11001. So that's why I was all about going to see Mary, but the fact that Carolyn McCormick's in it, and she was also in the original Law and Order for a while and as a recurring character, Dr. Olivet, to talk to her about it, Vegas. But anyway, so 2 really big reasons for me to go see it, at least 1 really big reason for you guys to go see it. So anybody that's planning a trip, thinking about heading out to New York City, go see At the Wedding at the Lincoln Center Theater. What else is going on? Let's see. Mission Chicago, still supposedly 6 guests and counting, and it's what? Just about 2 months away. Are we really holding out hope for a ton of people? I don't think so. But, I mean, that's going to be the problem. Because you know what? We're all sitting here, sitting on our hands, not making travel arrangements. And then what? Like March 25th, all of a sudden, they're going to flood us with 20, 50 guests that we're all going to want to see, which is a really, 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 really bad idea. So I don't know. You know, as I posted earlier this week, or late last week, because it is only Monday, as I posted late last week, Creation's already up to 40 guests. They've already got a bunch of amazing things set up. They've got Enterprise Karaoke. They've got yoga with Mary Chifo. They've got, of course, they're talking about the Rat Pack. There's already a bunch of science programming with some of their scientific guests. And meanwhile, Reed Pop and Mission Chicago is kind of just floundering around. Let's see. Okay. And before I bring out my very special guest for the evening, one more real quick announcement. Shuttlepod Show, the new podcast by Connor Trenier and Dominic Keating, is having its first episode on Sunday. And if they do have a website, finally. They have a website. They have a YouTube channel. I am the 2nd subscriber. My show, the NX7062, has subscribed. I urge you guys all to subscribe. Let's support Connor and Dominic in their new venture. And if you head over to Shuttlepod Show's Twitter feed, they want to know what you liked best about Shuttlepod 1, the episode, which is the reason for their show, or the title, I should say, the title of their show, and their first episode is celebrating the 20th anniversary of the original air date of Shuttlepod 1. So they want to know what everybody liked best about Shuttlepod 1. I already gave the podcast already gave their opinion. I spend more time on Twitter as my podcast than me. So my podcast already gave my opinion. I, of course, am looking to help support those guys. So if you're looking for something fun and Star Trek actor-oriented, you know what? Again, there's so much room. You know, we've got Sirach and the 7th Rule, and now we've got Connor and Dominic doing their Enterprise thing. So please go support those guys in their latest endeavors, so that they will keep doing it, so that those of us that are fans of theirs can get to watch them every week or every month or however often they decide to do these shows. Plus, y'all need to watch it because you know next week's show is going to be a review of theirs. So yeah, y'all gotta watch it. The show is called Shuttlepod Show. That's where that's how they're all over social media. They're on Twitter, they're on Insta. Pretty sure Shuttlepod Show's the website as well. It was really it was kind of hard for me to figure it out because the URL for their show, I don't even remember where I found it because it's not in the description on Twitter. But if you go to Twitter and look up Shuttlepod Show, or if you go on Instagram and look up Shuttlepod Show, it's there. Go check it out. And let's go support some of my favorite actors from the Star Trek universe. One more real quick thing, and then we're going to bring Randy out. Remember how Magic Lasso had shared that picture with me of the game in Dave & Buster's? Well, guess what? I found it at my local Dave & Buster's. And I figured out Magic Lasso is amazing because Magic Lasso took a picture of the appropriate side because he took the picture of the Enterprise side, but it's a 5-sided machine. So every captain from all the original series are represented on the machine. And it's one of those slide machines where you just have, everything looks like it's on the precipice of falling off into the bin so that you can win it. So I didn't play it, but it looks like you can use credits, and the more credits you use, it pushes it. I don't know. Honestly, there were no Enterprise prizes that I saw, so I lost interest in it really quickly. But anyway, yeah, so, oh, and by the way, Dave & Buster's has good food. So I hit Dave & Buster's, hit dinner, found my machine. It was a good Saturday night. Okay, so Randy, I have to give him his cue because he wasn't, oh, That's right. One more second, Randy. Forgot. Real quick. Season finale of Prodigy. And we now know what the second season's going to be. They're going to be looking for Chakotay, obviously, and whatever the diviner did to that ship, whatever he did to that ship, I guess is going to be that's going to be the big thing. Plus, we get to see the kids finally meet Starfleet. So, Prodigy, I think, had a great first season. Looking forward to season number 2. It's going to be excellent, and it looks like we might actually get a holographic Janeway and Janeway. We all know I was not a big Voyager fan, but I am definitely looking forward to seeing all the Janeways interact in Prodigy. And I needed to do that really quick because Randy hasn't seen it yet, so I promised him no spoilers. All right. Now, without further ado, we are bringing in Mr. Randy Frank, one of my favorite people on the podcast to have. I think.
Oh, I guess
Randy,
you pulled me in.
Yeah, I was waving at you. I don't know if you
saw
I
didn't.
It.
Your hands were moving a lot the whole time, so I couldn't tell.
Hand talker, I know.
I was like, I don't know when it's happening.
All right, let's see. Might Prodigy win us a better watch through Voyager? I don't know. For me, no, not happening. I've been watching Voyager. I have to tell. I do watch. Face, happy to see you. I have watched Voyager. I didn't need Prodigy to go watch Voyager. When I had access to Heroes and Icons, I used to watch it because it was on before Enterprise. And if Voyager couldn't win me back that way, it's not going to win me back. It's not going to happen. Like I said, I like a lot of the characters. I think 7 of 9 is amazing. I love the Doctor. I love the EMH. Neelix in small doses is fun. I loved Neelix and Cuss. There was a lot of stuff that I liked. I just didn't like the storytelling. I just never really got involved in the show to the point where I cared enough. So, hello, Warlord. Thank you so much for joining us. So glad you're here. So, one of the reasons that I dragged Randy, because I know kicking and screaming, to come do my show, is because next Wednesday, I'm going to be in LA. And this whole thing is just a ruse to check on the couch, because I wanted to see if the couch was still there. You're not going to make me sleep on the floor.
It's off camera a bit, but it's still there and ready to go.
No, it's because we're doing Gallifrey 1, which is a huge LA-based Doctor Who convention. We are actually both Whovians. So some more than others. Some of us, I think, are a little further along. Some of us need to catch up.
Yeah, I haven't caught up, but
Let's see.
I have seen a lot, just not all of it.
It's not as good as DS9 as far as the arcs, but it's fun. You know what? I have to. If you want to get back into Voyager, I have to admit, Ensign Kim annoyed me. Him and Paris, I actually found more annoying than likable, and their relationship just never clicked for me. And I get it. There always has to be at least one or two of those really solid bonded relationship, like Chakotay and the Captain, a little bit of Tuvok and the Captain, and then there was this Paris Kim thing, and it just never resonated for me. I don't know. I got to be careful. I don't want to alienate any of my. But anyway, so back to Doctor Who. So this is our second year doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And this year we actually got in. Last year was kind of like a last minute thing.
We were barely there, right? Yeah.
Right. But we had a chance to talk to the producer, Sean, and he's amazing. And he's been so incredibly generous this year. So we got ourselves a table. And then we talked to Star Trek Wines, and they're going to be featured at our party. We're doing a free wine tasting.
Yes.
So we're featuring what they call in our motto, which is one of everything.
One of everything. I can't wait to taste them.
Yeah, I know. It's been hard, Randy.
I know.
Have been sitting there.
They're just sitting there. I wrapped them up in bubble wrap and put them out of sight. That way I don't have to think about it.
But then I'm going to be there Wednesday, and we're not doing the thing till Friday, so it's going to be doubly hard because I'm going to be like,
I know.
I want to see the bottles.
Just don't look. Just don't look.
Don't look.
They're ready to go.
See, that's what I love about you, Faith. You are definitely you get it. We're all allowed to have differing opinions and
Yeah,
still
not
love
everyone
Star
has to
Trek.
love every single episode of everything. It's fine.
Yeah, what's that tweet that you put out that got like a bazillion likes and
Oh my
shares?
god, all I said was Star Trek is for everyone. And it
And it just
went
took
crazy
off.
for some reason. I have no idea why. It's the craziest thing. And
You
people
know,
like flaming me too. Like, new Star Trek isn't this, blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh my God, this is literally why I said that. Because I've seen like toxic fan behavior on the internet all the time. So all I said was Star Trek is for everyone, heart. And then all these people come like attack me. It was crazy.
yeah, and I watched you having to explain gatekeeping to somebody.
Yeah.
It was like somebody that like didn't
Like, it's
understand.
literally happening right now.
Like, see these nasty little ass comments.
That's what
like
it is.
Yeah, that's
Oh
literally.
my God,
the
it
definition.
exploded. It was crazy. It was nuts.
Yeah, so we are like really entrenched now in Gallifrey 1, and it is going to be so much fun.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited because they didn't have it last year. We went the year before, which was our first year, but they didn't have it last year because of COVID, obviously. So it's the first year back, and our second year totally. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that. I think
Awful.
we can. Awful. Yeah, so but we also have a table in the dealer's room.
Yes.
Which
yes.
we love because that's how we get to talk to people and spread
Yes.
the message of IDIC and Lambda Quadrant.
Yes.
And
yes.
we have come up with the coolest merch.
That's true.
And Randy's
you leave it to us.
Let's go with the coolest merch. And Randy, that's your cue. Where is it? Where's the TARDIS?
All right. First, the rainbow TARDIS.
It's so pretty.
It's so pretty, isn't it? And everyone is a different color because you never know how the filament is going to run out or whatever. But they're all rainbows. Like, so the gradient is different on every one of them, but they're all rainbows.
So
I've been printing those up feverishly.
So it's one filament that's just rainbow colored throughout, right? That's how that works.
Correct. Yeah. It's just you never know like where it's going to start and finish. And it's not like 1-to-1. So it kind of some are like red at the bottom and they're different. Like so everyone is unique.
Which is better.
They're going to come out.
Which is so much better.
Yeah.
All right. So we got an OG TOS. Exactly. It's all different. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Star Trek literally in and of itself, every iteration of it is just IDIC.
And like you wouldn't want them to make a 60s TV show right now. Like nobody would watch that. That's ridiculous. I don't understand why people are like, it's not that. Of course it's not the same because it's 2020. Like why would you think it would be the same? Is any TV show the same? Do you literally see any TV show that is the same as it was in the 60s? That's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, honestly, that's why they did DS9. It's like we just did 2 shows all about jumping all over the place. Why don't we do one that stands still?
Right.
Like so we can do like different stories.
Right. Yeah.
And then everybody bitched about that. So then they did 2 more running around space stories.
Right.
But at least Enterprise was the prequel, and then people bitched because it was a prequel. And because it didn't look like, and because the NX-01 didn't look like it predated the NCC 1071. Well, again, no, because it's 2000 versus 1966.
I mean, like, we have better technology. Like, should we build a cardboard ship and make it look terrible? No, like, they did what they could. We're doing what we can. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I said, I don't know if you've ever heard me say this before, Randy, but I've said this a couple times on the show. George Lucas, I mean, as much as Star Wars, hey Jamie, as much as Star Wars purists like myself weren't really thrilled with the fact that George Lucas went in and redid some things in the first 3 movies. That aside, I think that kind of speaks to, hello, this is why Star Trek series get updated. Obviously, George didn't have the technology back in the 70s and 80s. And when he did, he's like, I want to fix things. There are things that I didn't like about the originals that now that I have the technology, I can fix. Mm-hmm. So I think that just speaks to why the NX-01 doesn't look like the NCC. It's because we have the technology to make it look better, even if it's supposed to be. If they would have back then,
it would have looked better, I'm sure. So
yeah, exactly. I think there's 1 or 2 things that I liked about the redo. The one thing that I can tell you that I honestly think worked for me was that they hadn't cast Ian McDiarmid as the Emperor when they did Empire Strikes Back. So there's a scene in Empire Strikes Back where Darth Vader's talking to the Emperor. and a hologram, and it's not the guy that they actually got to play the Emperor on Return of the Jedi.
Oh, right.
Lucas went back and plugged in the Emperor.
Right. I think that makes sense.
That's the only one that makes sense. That's the only one that
didn't
really
they
makes
digitize
sense.
Yoda? Like, what's the point of that?
And I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to go back
I
and
thought
look.
they
I
went
have
back
them
and
all.
digitized over. I just have the original one, so I don't think I've even
You know
seen
what
the
I really hate?
redone.
I really hate that they completely changed Jabba's palace. Like, there's a song, and I have it on the original Return of the Jedi soundtrack that I have on cassette tape somewhere. There was a Max Rebo song that they sang in the original, and for some reason, when he expanded the band in the redo, he did a completely different song, and that pissed me off because I loved the original song. And they took out the little Ewok song at the end too.
It's weird.
The Yub Dub song. I'm like, people love that goofy crap, and you're taking it out. So there's a lot of stuff I don't agree with. So yeah, putting the real Emperor in, I think, was pretty much
that makes sense, right? Yeah, I agree with that.
But again, it speaks to why Star Trek update, like why?
Yeah,
because the technology's there, and you want to make it the way. Yeah. So, but okay. So what else do we have? Speaking of technology, what else have you 3D printed for us?
Oh, for anyone else who likes Doctor Who.
Everybody make sure you keep your eyes wide open. Somebody has to be staring at it this entire time.
It's the Weeping Angel. She looks really good. I love her. So we do
amazing.
have that. A limited number of those because they take forever to make.
Do you want to shout out to the person who you purchased that print from? Does she have anything else?
Who their name is? I would have to look it up.
I apologize. I should have asked you that before we went on. I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that. But
I had to dig around like the depths of the internet to find it. So
which is really surprising considering how popular the Weeping Angels are.
I know, it's crazy.
I guess just a lot of people didn't really want to like delve that deep. I don't know, because that's
seems weird. I know.
Yeah,
there's lots of Star Trek stuff, but that's weird.
Yeah, no. If you find her and you want to mention her at the podcast, I apologize for putting her on the spot like that. I just figured we could do her a solid.
I don't know who it is. Yeah,
so beautiful. I am watching Boba Fett. Randy, are you watching Boba Fett?
I watched the first one and it was so boring. I couldn't tell what was the present or the past, and all it was fight in the desert, 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 fight in the desert. And I was like, I can't.
Did you at least watch the Baby Yoda episodes like I told you?
No, I have to get there. I'm trying to get there. I have to trudge through so I know what's going on.
Literally, you don't have to do that. Like, if you can't trudge to episode 5, you could watch 5 and 6 as standalones, and I think you'd be okay.
Okay, all right. But yeah, it hasn't happened because I was so.
I'll have to go check that out. That there's the Obi-Wan trailer. I'll have to look. But it does get better. But you also have to understand something, and I'm about to out Randy. He's not a Star Wars fan.
No.
So
just a Baby Yoda fan.
Just a Baby Yoda fan. So I can understand. I mean, my parents. I told my parents the same thing. They watched The Mandalorian. They loved it. I'm like, listen, because I didn't want them to come at me with like 100 different questions about what's Boba Fett, what's this. Like, just watch 5 and 6, so that when The Mandalorian comes back,
you have more story, right?
You'll get it. You'll get it. But they decided to actually watch, so they actually got through all of it, and then of course,
I'm trying.
Let's see, what is Faith? Faith is going to be your Sherpa for this. It start making more sense, but yes, you can skip ahead. And
that's what I've heard. Is the episodes are basically just the Mandalorian. He's not even in them, which is hilarious.
Yeah, and the other thing I told my parents is I doubt that when Mando comes back, that they're going to repeat anything. So unless you watch these 2 episodes, you're going to be lost. They're pulling a Marvel. They're pulling a Marvel. They're trying to get
right.
Because anything in the Marvel Cinematic Universe only makes sense if you've seen everything that's come before it.
Right. It's annoying.
Yeah, it is annoying, but I think they're using that model to try and make sure that people start watching, like Baby Yoda fans get invested in Boba Fett.
Right.
I mean, as a fan, I'm invested because there's little Easter eggs and stuff for Return of the Jedi fans that I've seen. So, but I get it. I understand it. So
yeah.
And Stephen Root is in it, and I absolutely love him ever since I saw him. Ever since he was in News Radio. I don't know if you've ever watched News Radio.
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's one of my favorite. It was the show that Phil Hartman was working on when he was murdered by his wife. I don't know if you remember that scandal. Mm-mm. Phil Hartman from Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah.
And then he left Saturday Night Live.
Uh-huh.
And he started the News Radio with Dave Foley from Kids in the Hall.
Okay, yeah.
And news radio was just so funny, and he was so perfect. And then his wife in real life murdered him. So Phil Hartman died, and then of course that made the show jump the shark, and it went downhill. But Stephen Root, who was in Dodgeball, I think wasn't he in the Office movie? There's a movie, Office Space, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. He's like the short, dumpy guy with glasses. He's always playing like the little, except in news radio, he wasn't like that. He was the station owner.
Oh,
but
okay.
I love him, and he was in it was like the second or third episode of Boba Fett. He was the guy that was overcharging for water.
I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay. Oh, right, because you've only watched
the first one. Yeah, I got so bored. Yeah.
Yeah, Boba Fett's awesome. Boba Fett is a great story. It's a great story. Fennec Shah, I'm trusting John Fett. Yeah, I think as a Star Wars fans, we could put our trust in Jon Favreau, because I think he's got 2 seasons of The Mandalorian under his belt. I think the storytelling about the one thing I had a problem with is like what Randy said, even for a diehard fan like myself who understands what was past and what was present, I was getting very bored with the jumping around. I thought that get that you're trying to establish his backstory, because once he crawled out of the Sarlacc pit, which is where he ended up in Return of the Jedi. Once he crawled out of it, yeah, remember Han Solo knocked his flight pack, his jetpack, and he flew into the side of the sail barge, and he dropped into the Sarlacc pit.
Oh, okay.
So if it wasn't for his Beskar, he never would have gotten out if it wasn't for his armor. But then he got out. So yeah, it was interesting to learn how he oh wow. Yeah, I've missed some stuff that I need to go back and rewatch.
You know what? I actually thought that the storytelling mechanic was really cool about him being in that tank, and it was like the dreams are coming back, and he was dreaming his backstory. I thought that was great, except it just wasn't told very well after he started just going back and forth and just shooting people in the desert constantly.
Right. I liked it because Magic Lasso and I've had this conversation, and he had told me that he couldn't understand why Boba wasn't wearing his armor, because as we all learned from The Mandalorian, you don't take off your armor, you don't take off your helmet. But now we know he doesn't consider himself a Mandalorian anymore, after being with the Sand People, and learning their ways and being so scarred and everything. Okay. Yeah, so he doesn't consider himself a Mandalorian anymore, which is why it's okay.
Yes,
well,
it was.
There's not much to see there. Luke Skywalker grew up there, you know. Yeah. So, and they brought back Amy Sudeikis.
Oh, really?
The garage mechanic. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember her in Mandalorian. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you get to that episode, she's back. I loved her.
Well, that's fun. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll make it through.
Yeah. No, I have faith in you. I have faith. You'll get there. And if you need me to explain
prioritize stuff, and I usually don't prioritize boring stuff. So.
And why would you?
Right.
It's just it's tough. It's tough to sit down. All right. So we've got so much stuff going on for Gallifrey. I'm so excited.
Oh yes, I know.
Do you have anything else sitting there that you can show people? Or?
I don't. No, I don't.
Okay.
I want to keep some of it a surprise as well.
Oh, that's true too.
But the wine tasting will be fun.
Yes. If anybody, unfortunately, ticket sales right now are done. As far as I know, I don't think they're doing. They stopped their online ticket sales on the 6th, and I don't really think that they're doing on-site sales, just because of the pandemic and trying to keep the numbers down.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because we were just talking as a group, we were talking about this. So LA count. So explain to me. So parts of SoCal are opening up. How is this working, with the COVID stuff?
Yeah, so there was a statewide mandate, so then everyone has to abide by that. But they lifted the statewide mandate, but there can still be more restrictions county-wide, because they can make those decisions for themselves, same as national and state, right? So the county can make decisions based on whatever they want. And LA County has always been pretty clamped down on everything, even when the state mandate wasn't there. The state mandate basically just held it in place for LA County, but the state mandate is going to be lifted on the 15th, which probably means places like Orange County, where people really don't care, they're going to lift their mask mandate. But Gallifrey 1 is in LA County, so.
Right, and they've
It's
already
not
got
going away.
everything. Yeah, and they've already got everything in place with the hotels, so it's probably not.
Yeah,
change.
and it doesn't change like a company's ability to set the mandate themselves. So, like the hotel could say, no, you still have to have, because it's a private
Right.
business. So you could still say, no, you have to have it, or the convention could too. Like to
Right.
go to a convention, you have to have it. So I don't
Right.
think it's going to affect the convention really.
No, and I just think, especially from a guest standpoint, they don't want to change it, because if they all of a sudden even could turn around and say,
Right.
oh, you'd have to, the guests would probably stop feeling comfortable going, because I know that's, obviously that's a concern for people.
Because
that you
that's
have to do.
probably, yeah, like that when you signed up, you probably, made that decision based off the fact that was going to happen. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, they've already had a couple of cancellations. A couple people that I really wanted to see canceled because
Oh, who's going to be there even? I didn't even really look.
well, the one person that I know you would have loved, because I mean, outside of all of them, but you've seen the Christopher Eccleston. We all know out there I am. Hi, Travis. We all know I am absolutely terrible with names.
Oh, me too.
Okay, so you've seen the Christopher Eccleston, the first new Who with the Doctor and Rose from 2005?
Probably. Yes.
Okay. Do you remember the Slovene and Downing Street, that whole thing with the Slovene and the human bodies, and they were all and they unzipped themselves?
No.
Okay. Yeah, and you don't watch Ted Lasso.
Mm-mm.
Okay, but you do watch Outlander.
Yes.
The older lady that ran the kitchen in Outlander, in the first couple of seasons of Outlander, at the
kitchen.
Yeah,
at the old house.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
okay. She was in Doctor Who. She was one of the Slovene in Downing Street.
Okay.
Do you remember the episode with Captain Jack in Cardiff where they went to recharge the TARDIS, and they caught the heavier set woman? She was like the mayor of Cardiff, and she was going to make a nuclear power plant, but she was really just trying to power a surfboard to get home.
No.
Okay.
I didn't see that one.
Same actress. Anyway, she was supposed to be there, and she's not.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, because I thought, well, Randy will at least like her from Outlander, if nothing else.
Totally true.
But she also owns the pub in Ted Lasso.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen
it. Yeah, so she's gonna. Yes, Ted Lasso. Woo! Let's see. Who else is going to be there? Oh, my friend wants me to get Sophia Miles, I think is her name, her autograph. She was the girl on the fireplace. I don't know if you remember that episode. It was David Tennant's doctor and Mickey and Rose. They were on that ship that kept going back to Madame de Pompadour's time with the clockwork people, and they needed her brain to run their ship.
I vaguely remember the fireplace girl.
Okay, her. She's going to be there. She was also. Do you remember a very short-lived series, Moonlight, about a vampire that was a cop?
No.
Oh, she was in that. That's where I first saw her. She was in that. Anybody out there know the show Moonlight?
Wow.
It's got Alex something from Hawaii Five-0. The guy that's on Hawaii Five-0 was the vampire on Moonlight. And I can't remember his name either. It's Alex something. Alex Kingston was River Song. This Alex, I can't remember his name. Who else is going to be there? Sylvester McCoy, the 8th Doctor, the seventh Doctor.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Sylvester McCoy is going to be there. A bunch of companions are going to be there. I think the guy that played Jamie who was the companion to the 2nd Doctor, Patrick Troughton, he's going to be there. And there's a bunch of there's like some Star Wars comic book people that are going to be there. There's a lot of people. It's just and they've got people from they've got people from Jodie Foster, Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who. They've got a couple people from her. They've got her master, but I don't like him, so I'm not going to want to get his autograph because I don't like him.
Oh, okay. Oh, Mandip, I know her from the show.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, they've got a lot of guests. They were talking about possibly getting sci-fi guests from LA to kind of round out if people start canceling. They were going to look at getting some guests from other TV shows, just like local LA based people.
Right. So
I'm like crossing my fingers. I'm like, I know at least like 4 or 5 like Star Trek people that are LA based. Could you maybe call some? But we'll see. We will see what happens.
For sure, right? I wish there was an easy way to get them in there. Oh, I was like, who's that lady? It's Chase. Wow, they used a really old picture of Chase. She's like 17. What is that picture? Who
Oh my
sent that
God! Yes,
picture?
we can't forget the one and only Chase Masterson, Lita from Deep Space Nine, and
Yeah.
Vienna. I should send you. That's what I should make you do while you're working when I'm out running around on Thursday doing stuff.
Uh-huh.
I should have you listen to some of my Vienna stuff that she's
Oh,
done.
right. Yeah.
I have it on my iPod.
Cool.
So yeah, I mean those stories are amazing. And
I mean, sometimes during work I have to work, but yeah.
Oh, so yeah. Well, no, I didn't know if like I can't work in quiet. Like I like to have something in the background, so I didn't know if you like
Oh, I
ever play
can't.
music.
No, I can't.
Okay.
No, I'm
Okay.
like I'm doing like teaching online. I can't like.
Oh yeah, then you can't be. Yeah. Oh no, I just didn't know if you had like if you were able to do it, like if you could listen to it in the background at some point.
No, I'm just I do like teaching and coaching online, so I can't really.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that's one of the things I like about working from home is I just plug into my
Yeah,
I have my.
I mean, I work
I
from
have
home,
my-
but I work with people, so.
Oh no. But I'm just saying, working from home, that I don't work with people, so I can listen to whatever music I want as loud as I
Oh, for
want, and I don't have
sure,
to worry about. Because I used to have that problem, like when my last cubicle job was always like, "What are you
Right.
listening to? Could you turn that down?" I'm like,
Right. Of course.
I'm like trying to tune out the boredom and like not listen to all your phone calls and like everything you're doing. So, but like, yeah, but if you answer phones, then you can't put headphones in. So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, one of the reasons I left the cubicle farm life.
Mm-hmm.
You are caught up on Discovery though, right?
Yes.
So what are we thinking Discovery-wise? It's going to be.
What about it? What do you mean?
Just in general, Discovery. They need more grudge. Let's just talk about it.
More grudge.
They need more grudge.
What are they doing with May?
With May? Which ones?
Mary.
Oh, Mary. I think there's talk about a Starfleet Academy show.
They can't move her to a different show.
That's the scuttlebutt I'm seeing. I think they're talking about.
Why would they do that though? That seems so weird.
Yeah, I know.
Like she has such a good relationship with everybody there.
I don't think it would be doing her character any justice since she said, "I feel like I belong in Starfleet Academy teaching."
Well, I get that, but
yeah. So I agree, but
they wrote that. It's not like it's an actual person that said that. Like they didn't have to write those words.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is I feel like they wrote themselves into a corner because it would be disingenuous to have her be like, "Oh, I tried Starfleet. I thought I really belonged teaching, but no, I belong back on Discovery." Like I don't.
Right.
I think that would be.
Well, I don't think it would. I don't think it would be that. I think it would be, "We need you for this," and she'd be like, "Okay," not. She changed her
Gotcha.
mind.
Well, yeah, they could spin her off and then do that too. Like she could be spun off into Starfleet Academy, and then like if they need her for a mission for whatever reason.
That's not the same as being on the show, though.
No, I know, but I need more grudge. I don't know who I agree with. That was a tough call. The whole like, do we destroy them? Do we go in like guns blazing, or do we go in and try to talk to them?
Oh yeah, I mean it's just not the Federation way to go in guns blazing, so it doesn't surprise me that was their decision.
Yeah, but it's ironic because wasn't Michael the one that was all about the Vulcan salute with the Klingons in the first episode? Now she's like, no, let's do diplomacy. I guess she learned her lesson.
Hopefully.
Aw, Faith.
See?
Mohammed! See? I love it. He breaks his... He usually watches in silence, but he breaks his silence.
For grudge.
We also need more Enterprise references, so you can weigh in on that too, Mohammed. But Faith watches for Tilly. Yeah, Tilly's amazing.
She's so great. Like,
and
I feel like she brings so much like heart to the series. Like, who's gonna bring that when she's not there?
She really is. Like, she's like the little, like, conscious little, like little angel on your shoulder, kind of whispering in your ear, kind of thing.
Yeah.
What do you think of Saru and the Vulcan ambassador?
Oh, I thought that was so cute.
Isn't that sweet?
Oh, it was so sweet. And Michael's all like, Michael's like, "Oh, go get your tea." It was so funny. It was so.
And it's like, all right, this is how Vulcans flirt. This is really interesting.
I know. I got some tea for you, or whatever. That was
all right, let's see. Definitely more Enterprise. I teared up when they played. Oh my God, me too. It wasn't enough that they named the spacey. I mean, that was enough for my heart to start pounding. But when they start playing Archer's theme, I was like, They membered. But
there's a lot of fun throwbacks to all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think is probably one of the reasons. I mean, I like the idea. I think that they jumped into the future. I mean, selfishly, all they had to refer back to when they were in their own time period was Enterprise. But now they get to do everybody.
Right.
So of course I liked it better when it's like Captain Archer was one of the best captains in Starfleet because it's
right. Yeah, it's true though. Yeah.
Let's see what else is going on with this. What Disco's back
tomorrow or Thursday? Yeah.
Is it Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's this week.
It is Thursday.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. Well, I think that was
watching.
Perfect. Yeah. No, it was kind of perfect. Because it's like the way they were doing it. It's like I don't like them stopping though. I would have been happy if they just gone like all in on Prodigy, then all in on Discovery.
Right. Right.
It's like I don't know what it is with all these mid-season breaks, especially when it's like streaming. Like you could like you're.
And then there's multiple ones that are like overlapping. It's confusing.
It is. It's not like you guys are beholden to the Olympics because you're a streaming service, so you can just do whatever you want to do.
Right, because you can watch it whenever. Nobody watches it like at the time it happens. So.
Except us Trekkies who sit around and wait for midnight. At the time. We're like, it's Discovery.
That's only because people post spoilers all the time. It's terrible.
Oh my god, I don't know if I mentioned it. I was so pissed. It turns out that Nicole DeBoer and I both like Afterlife, and she posted something about I think this is like this last season. It's the last season, and I think it's only doing the 6 episodes that are up on Netflix right now. And Nicole posted something very benign to Ricky Gervais on Twitter. Just, that was amazing. So great. Really loved it. And I went in to reply like, oh, great. Looking forward to it. So, on Twitter, it's not as easy to like not see a comment because they're all like right in your face.
Right.
Somebody freaking responded with a huge spoiler.
Why do they do that?
And I'm going, this isn't my post. If this was my post, I would have ripped that jerk a new one. But right. I'm like, you know what? It's my friend's post. I'm not going to do anything because that's rude.
Because then it causes problems.
I
can post what I want. It's the internet. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with somebody on somebody else's post. That's just rude. So all my reply was just hashtag spoilers, and then I just like, that's it.
Right.
Like that's all I had to say because that was just rude.
I don't understand why people do that. Like, why is it fun for you to ruin it for somebody else? Like, I get if it came out like a week ago or like a month ago or a year ago, but like people do it like the minute it comes out. I'm like, why would you do that?
Right. And you know what? It's like Nicole and other people have sat down and probably binged it. I didn't do it. I know it's the end, so I wanted to savor it.
Right.
And it's like, and here's the thing: what Nicole said was not a spoiler. Right. So why do you feel the need to post something that you know is a spoiler? Just because
form of gatekeeping, they're having control of it because they know something that you might not know and they get to tell you about it. I don't understand that at all. I never post anything spoilery unless it's about like TNG, but like I can't it's not like it's just not cool.
Well, or like the whole trip's dead is a big joke. Like, oops, spoiler, sorry. It's like it's 20 years old. It's it's like almost 20 years old. If you don't know,
right?
Yeah, it's funny. OkCupid, I know I still don't know why they banned me for like a week. I don't know why I got put in. I guess there's such a thing now as OkCupid timeout. But the guy that I was in the middle of chatting to on OkCupid, he's like, "What's your favorite TV show?" So I listed a bunch, but of course Star Trek Enterprise was like the first one, and he was a jerk. So I don't mind like saying this about him like publicly because he was a jerk in the end. But he actually was like, "Oh, have you seen every episode of Enterprise?" I'm like, it's one of my favorite TV shows and it's 20 years old.
No, I'm really saving it for a rainy day.
Yeah, I watched like the first 2 episodes and decided it was my favorite, but no.
You never know when I might need an extra episode, so I'm just saving it.
Yeah, I'm like, yes, I have, and I own the Blu-rays. I was waiting for him to make like some sort of like even the last episode, like something to like redeem yourself.
Right.
But it was just like a lame ass like filler question.
Oh.
He also called marketing a hobby. That's when I should have just ended the conversation. Like he's like, what are because we were talking and he's like, well, what are your other hobbies besides marketing?
That's rude. Like my My
My
job
hobby.
isn't a hobby. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't make money off of
Yeah,
it.
I'm just like my degree. It's like I spent a lot of money on my degree to go to Penn State to get a degree in marketing, but yeah, I just did that because I wanted to
Hobby,
like make
just
it
a
a
hobby.
hobby.
Right.
Yeah, the dating scene sucks. I've even looked at like some of like the Star Trek specific dating sites. They're all just
That
sucky.
sounds terrifying. Yeah.
Well, Dragon Fruit is supposed to be one for like geeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at it, and first of all, I am way older than all of those geeks on there. Like, let's
Ah,
be honest,
oh god.
nobody was age appropriate.
Oh
But
no.
so that was like the first. I should have just ditched it after I realized like all of these, and they only let you list like 3 fandoms in your profile. I'm like, how am I
That's
supposed to pick
ridiculous.
like my top 3 fandoms?
On a
Like I
geek
went,
website. Like, come on, y'all.
yeah, exactly. It's like I went with like Trek, Wars, and Doctor Who, but I mean, I have other ones.
Right.
I'm like, you're supposed to like, why are you limiting me this? Like, do you
That
just not
seems
have
weird for that
the
kind of website, yeah.
yeah, it's like, do you just not have the bandwidth to let me put up like 4 more icons?
Seems weird.
So, yeah. So the other thing that I want to talk about, again, for anybody that's LA based that isn't within the sound of my voice, not that this is going to be. What is the thing that we're supposed to be doing on Thursday? That Star Trek Jeffries Tube thing. What that you may or may not be able to come to.
Oh, I can come.
Yay!
It's an installation. It's just a bunch of, actually it's all of it is owned by one guy. It's like some guy's collection of like Star Trek stuff basically, but there's a lot of like they have one of the like screen used models of the Enterprise D from TNG. Like it's huge. Like it's the one that they use to like actually do, so you like that there's that and a whole bunch of the old costumes from that era, from the like 90s shows, just like that were worn on screen, same thing. And they do have some newer stuff too. They have one of Laurel's costumes in there from Discovery. And then the Jeffries tube is just a little like interactive thing that's in the exhibit or whatever. They actually built a Jeffries tube so you can climb through. It's about like 20 feet of a Jeffries tube, but you
So
can like
that's
get on
not
either end and take
screen.
pictures.
That's
Huh?
not like screen. The Jeffries Tube is built. It's not
Oh,
screen.
it's actually
used,
built. Yeah, you physically like crawl in it so you can
Oh
see what it
no! But
feels
I mean,
like.
it's not like the Jeffrey Tube from a show. Like they built it.
No. They just
Yeah.
built it there. Yeah.
Because I was gonna
They
say they
just
wouldn't
built it
want
so you
people
could see.
crawling through like stuff.
No. They built
Yeah.
it there so you could see. But I think it's like to spec, so it's how big it's supposed to be. So you can see like what it feels like to crawl in the Jeffries tube. It was fun. It was really cool just to see.
It looks so fun. Okay, yeah, and I appreciate that about you, War Dog. You are a gentleman. That you're keeping your snarky comments because you. It's called filters. Most people have them. So where is this? That is
It's
a
at the
hobby.
Skirball Museum here in LA.
It's traveling though, isn't it? Is that one of those ones that like goes across? Or
I
because
don't
it's
think
only
so, no.
there.
I think
So
it's only
when
here.
when it's done though, isn't it like done?
It's done, yeah.
So when it's done, it's just done.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like I said, it's like one person's personal collection. Like it's not things that they've cultivated or like that belong in a museum. It's like one person's collection. There just happens to be like the biggest freaking collection of stuff I could ever imagine. And it's all like really like, and there's TOS stuff in there too. I think they have like I think they have actual like a captain's chair from TOS that was like on screen. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh wow. Well, we will be taking a ton of pictures, so I will have
Yes.
something to talk about when I come back from LA.
Yes.
Besides just cool Doctor Who shit, because I'm just.
Yeah, I took the afternoon off, which is I can take half the day. It's easier than the whole day. So.
Oh, okay, cool. So.
And then we also need to go set up. So I figured let's go do all that stuff.
Oh no, that's fine. That's totally fine. No, I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I went before, but it's a lot. I'm happy to go again because there's just so much stuff there.
Yeah, no, I mean any excuse to do Star Trek stuff. Speaking of Star Trek stuff in LA, the cruise, Star Trek the Cruise 6 is leaving from LA next year.
Smart, yeah.
They actually, it's so funny. Like this cruise hasn't even left dock yet. Like it's not leaving. 20 days. I think it's 26. So 19 days. It's leaving on the 26th.
Oh, this month?
Yeah, of this month.
That's my birthday. Oh, that's sad. Oh well.
Well,
not going on that one.
No, but I think the dates are the same for next year, maybe.
Oh, really?
So we might be leaving on your birthday if we go.
That'd be cool.
Well, it's leaving from LA, so
right.
That's one.
I mean, it's better for me, obviously, but
yeah.
When you went before, did you have to you stopped at somewhere or drove and you had a hotel room and stuff, right?
when I went before, because of the amount of stuff that we had for our activities, we rented a car and drove from New Jersey
all the way
to
down.
Miami.
It's ridiculous.
This year it's leaving from Orlando, so if you had to drive this year from here, it would be a little bit easier.
A little bit better, but
a little bit better.
Yeah.
But still,
well, the good thing about here too is that if we get to go, then we can all crash here the night before, so it saves on like hotel rooms and all the other stuff. We can just pile in a car and go down.
So yeah, fair warning, when the cruise comes back, we're going to talk to them. So like, we should start like a Lambda Quadrant needs to go on the cruise campaign.
Right, for sure.
Because if you guys wanted to go on a cruise, you'd want to go on it with us, right? Because we would have like the most amazing programming.
Absolutely.
And fun stuff. But it's so funny because somebody already, they're already talking on Facebook about cruise sticks, and somebody said something about how sometimes the cruise plans excursions like the day before or the day after the cruise leaves, because there's a lot of people, they're smart, they come in early.
Yeah.
And you know, so they're talking about this, and they were like, somebody needs to plan like an LA Star Trek thing, which I think is an amazing idea, like the day before the cruise leaves, to do like some sort of like Star Trek in LA tour.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I didn't like Voyager, but I do know that they worked at Griffin Observatory. Like there was like, you could literally just do that back in time Sarah Silverman Voyager thing and like take up a day in LA just to go.
Yeah. The Getty. I mean, that's from the Kelvin ones, but it's up there.
Yep.
Starfleet Academy from the Kelvin.
The caves, the Bronson Caves, right? Which was Batman, but it was also something else in Star Trek, I think.
Yes, they use it for and then the rocks, the big like jutty rock that they use for everything. That's also where in Picard, that's where he like goes down to meet what's her face in her like trailer.
Oh, Michelle, Raffi.
Yeah, Raffi. Yeah. That's where they did that. The same places. Look at that. I couldn't remember. The only one I remember is Vajazel from season 1.
I don't think we're going to be seeing her much in season 2.
No, I don't think so.
Although
the Vasquez rocks, that's it. Thank you, Faith. Yes, Vasquez rocks. But they've shot a lot of stuff there. But yeah, there was TOS stuff in there. I'm pretty sure they were there in TNG for just stuff without the actual like rock itself. And then in Picard, that's where they were too. So it's a big place for that. And then there's a water treatment plant near him in Van Nuys. That's the other Starfleet Academy.
I wanted to go to Griffin Observatory, but when I was out there last year, it was still closed.
Yeah. Wow.
And I don't know. Maybe Monday. Is it open?
I don't know.
I know you guys are all really, really enjoying the fact that I'm sitting here making my travel plans with Randy right now. But I gave myself an extra couple of days before and after the convention, so I'm going to be in LA on Monday. I have a free day on Monday before I leave, so
I don't know when it's open. I don't know the schedule.
I'd have a work gig in Hawthorne this late. What's Hawthorne?
That's down south from here. That's where SpaceX is.
Oh, that would be cool.
I've been there.
Well, things that some of you might not know about Randy. He worked for NASA. He is actually, can we call you a rocket scientist?
I didn't work on a rocket, but the space program was active when I worked there.
Oh, see, yeah, there's like so many, LA is just like full of like so much Star Trek stuff.
Trying to think of any of the ones that I think there's one that I haven't worked with, because I worked for NASA, I worked with SpaceX, I worked with Aerospace Corp, and there's another one that I think that I haven't worked with, but I can't remember who it is.
And then you tried to work with Paramount, didn't you? Go with Paramount recently?
What?
Didn't you have an interview or something at Paramount because you had pictures, like for a client or something? Oh, I thought.
I don't go to client sites anymore. I don't know. Paramount? No.
I wish. What's Blue up to say? Making travel plans, watching Discovery, and cooking pizza. But hey, we're having fun. Yes, we are having fun. And don't make pizza unless you're going to share. My God.
Oh my God. Now I'm hungry.
Like, rude. Oh my gosh. So I'm trying to think what other is there any Trek stuff that you want to talk about? Anything Trek-tastic going on in your world?
Something we can talk about that's public but exciting for any TNG fans. Gates McFadden just put up her like her website where she's selling a bunch of her stuff that's like her personal collection. I
Oh,
mean,
that's
and that's only
right.
going to happen once, right? Like once she sells that stuff, that's the end of it. And it's all like original stuff from her personal collection. I know the lovely woman. She's amazing. But I ordered stuff because I was like, I want this. So I ordered 2 of her shooting scripts from TNG from of course ridiculous episodes that I love. But I ordered the shooting scripts from her collection. They're going to be putting more stuff up. But if you are into TNG nostalgia merchandise at all, go check out Gates McFadden's website because I will have to. It's just gatesmcfadden.com. And then
that's
it's the
easy.
store. Yeah.
But hello, my board queen. She and I share a bit of a Connor Trenier obsession. So I know that you're, I hope, looking forward to their podcast coming up, Shuttle Pod Show. And I was the 2nd subscriber to their YouTube channel. So they need subscribers on the YouTube channel. It's Shuttle Pod Show.
That's hilarious.
So yeah. Yeah. So I'm being supportive of, they support me. Yay! Thanks, Blue. I don't know why they should be thanking you, but I'll thank you. Just tell them the NX7062 sent you. It's just they've been so great for me. They did the bumpers for the show. I've interviewed them a few times. So I love Connor and Dominic so much that, why not help them out, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So
it looks like, are there any? There's still some stuff. A lot of stuff has gone.
Did you get the
it looks like at least half of it.
Was the Sub Rosa script one of the scripts that was up for grabs?
No, the Sub Rosa script was not one of the ones that was. I would have gotten it immediately, of course. There's no more Star Trek scripts. There's one from Franklin and Bash and Mad About You that she directed, but all the Star Trek ones are gone. I got I got Genesis because that's hilarious with the like fish Troy because that is hilarious. And then I also got Remember Me, which I love that episode.
That's the one where everybody disappears, right?
Yes, that's the one where everybody disappears. It's very much a Beverly episode. They all had like ones that's like this is their episode. Yeah. That was definitely, and that's Static Warp Bubble. Like it's such a big thing. It's hilarious. And that's the line, if there's nothing wrong with me, there must be something wrong with the universe. I love it.
I love the title too. That's such a classy title. I just really like it.
So I got those 2 shooting scripts, which I haven't gotten my hands on them yet, but I bought them. I'm very excited.
Spider Barkley. Yes, Spider Barkley.
Yes, yeah. Fun fact. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Trivia about Spider Barkley. It was supposed to be way scarier and more involved than that, but the week they were shooting that was when the big earthquake in Northridge happened here in LA, and so they had to scale back production quite a bit because of the earthquake. But it was actually supposed to be a lot more involved. She wanted him to like drop down from the ceiling and stuff like that because she directed the episode too. She wanted him to like drop down from the ceiling and stuff, but they couldn't do that because they had to scale back production from the earthquake. Anyway, there you go.
There you go. Speaking of Gates and Beverly, you have watched, I know you're not all the way caught up on Prodigy, but you said you did see the Kobayashi Maru episode.
Yes, with her in it, yes.
Yes, but 2 things that I did not, I loved the episode. The problems, poor Queen, yes, it would have been totally amazing.
Yeah.
But a couple of issues that I had with that episode. I didn't think Gates looked like, or I should say Beverly. I don't think Beverly looked like Beverly.
No, she didn't. And she looked mad the whole time.
Yeah, she looked more like, somebody said she looked more like Gates does now.
Yeah.
But that's
which
not
is like
Beverly.
So many years after the show, yeah.
Yeah, and she still didn't look right. And even then, Gates now, yeah, it's closer to Gates now, but it's not really. Like
it's
Gates
not,
now
still not, yeah.
Way more attractive than what
it's
they drew
weird,
her as.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan of that.
The other thing that and I know that there was absolutely no way to get around this, and I understand that from a technical standpoint, and I get that they wanted to have Spock be as interactive as possible, but the fact that they had to pull his lines from all different points with all different tones and then like cobble them together.
Yeah.
You could really tell. And it was really I have an ear like that little thing, like stuff like that really kind of throws, like it pulls me out of the moment.
Yeah, and you could tell, and even like for one full line, you could tell was pulled from multiple places because it like changed tone in the middle of the, like, 2 sentences, between 2 sentences it changed. I was like, what? Yeah. So you could really tell.
It's like, I get what you were trying to do, and I know, but again, just knowing audio, I know that if you tried to even change the tone, then like it would have There was no way to do it.
I'm sure they
would've-
cleaned it up and filtered it as much as they could, but you still.
But that's as good as it was going to get without sounding really fucked up to be.
And you could tell, like, even with the Ahura, you could tell that sometimes there was like the boing, like noise in the background that they tried to like filter out, because that wasn't going on the ship. Like, there was no reason for that noise, but you could hear that, like, that, you know, radar kind of noisy thing that it had in TOS when the Ahura was talking. So, and
of course, the other big complaint was they could have figured out a way to put in somebody from Enterprise. And it was the only show that wasn't represented,
or just like not for people that are dead. Like, I was like, why are there like, there were so many. I was like, why would you, like, there's so many people who could do a line that are still alive. It was just weird.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, respect to Renee, but he wanted like a tactical officer. Like, that was not what Odo did.
Right.
Like, honestly, Malcolm would have been perfect. Or Worf. I would have accepted Worf, but there were just so many. But the only reason
Michael would have been too expensive.
Well, that's true too. If they, exactly. If they didn't want to like steal lines, because Gates was the only one that actually had lines. Even
she's the only one that was.
So if they didn't want to, Dominic probably definitely would have come cheaper than Michael if they decided.
I mean.
Yeah. So why not? Yeah. Why not Lieutenant Reed?
I don't know.
Why not Lieutenant Reed? Why did you have to do Odo? All right, what does Blue have to say, Aaron? Okay. Like that Aaron wanted to keep the recordings the same. Creates future Easter eggs for the children to discover the original context. I mean, that's sweet, but I don't know if that was really what they were thinking. I think what they were thinking was that this is as good as the audio is going to get. Like, we really wanted to do this.
Yeah. You know what would have been cool if they would have gotten, like, Adam to do it instead.
Yeah.
I would have been okay with that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been a nice homage.
Right. And I would have been okay with having Adam do it instead of his dad, like, and have actual lines, you know?
Yeah. Or honestly, and I don't know how, and I get that this would not have been maybe the most popular decision, but Zachary Quinto does Spock dead on.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have been okay with that.
I know. But there were options to doing it the choppy way that they did.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I get why. I kind of get it, but also, like, come on.
Well, yeah, they did. They definitely picked them because they were like iconic and they wanted to dedicate the episode to them.
Right.
And I understand that, but you know what? They've got the holodeck.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's see. He said directly, I'll take it. He said himself watching.
Like, they could have, like, if they just wanted to, like, have a throwback to TOS, they literally could have just used the, like, audio from TOS and had, like, a flashback or something on the, like, the view screen or on the holodeck, and just use the audio from TOS and be like, oh, this is a recording of whatever. And then it wouldn't have mattered that it sounded like TOS because it's a, like, recording of it. You know, they could have done something versus, like, mashed together lines that didn't exist. I don't know.
Because that just comes back to, just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should.
Right.
So there were probably different ways.
Exactly.
That's the problem. It made your ears twitch. Like,
if you can't do it well, like, just don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely an emotional connection when I first heard Leonard Nimoy coming out of the animated spot. But it got bad when he's yelling at him. When they beamed over to the Klingon ship is when it got really bad.
Right.
And he's having like this monologue at him, because the monologue, like you said, it'd be like mid-sentence, and the monologue
you could hear
would
it like
tone.
switch, and it's like,
Sometimes the volume even jumped in like weird places.
Right. It was weird. Yeah.
And I get it. Like I'm like, I recognize that speech. It's like, you know, like I'm like, I know I've heard Spock say that. I couldn't necessarily put my finger on the episode. But it's like, yes, I've heard Spock say this before, and I get that, but it could have just been done better.
I think also it's a kid's show and they don't care. So they were like, why spend the extra time and money for a kid's show? I think is probably part of it too.
Yeah, I mean,
because kids aren't going to pick up on that stuff. They're like, oh, great, that guy. Like, I don't. Yeah.
Obviously, they did it. Obviously, they did it for the adult. Like, they did it for us, like the people that are. But
yes, well, then they should have done it better for sure.
They should have done it better. Well,
I'm glad Gates was on it.
No, definitely can't.
I was so happy for her to have a fun part.
Yeah, exactly. So that was, that meant, it was meaningful. It was definitely meaningful. And I think one of the goals of all these new shows is to at some point tie them in. So having them tie it in more so than just a coffee drinking hologram of Janeway was important. Like
Right.
and the whole thing with the Kobayashi Maru
Right.
is important because that's iconic.
It's funny, yeah.
So
do you think he beat it?
No, I think he just learned. He learned the lesson that everybody's supposed. Yeah, he learned the lesson that everybody's supposed to learn.
Like he killed the Klingons, but I don't think that's what I don't think you're supposed to kill them. I think the mission is to not kill them.
Yeah, I mean, he had a very Kirk-like way of like trying to beat the system.
Right.
And he was definitely thinking outside the box. Like, I don't think anybody who went through academy training would pull the crap that he pulled, like ejecting the warp core. So I loved watching. I love watching that. Right. But he ended up doing the same thing that Boimler did on that one episode of Lower Decks, where he just got stuck in that loop.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But I think he walked away, with the lesson: how we face death is as important as how we face life. Like, you have to learn how to lose.
Right.
Because that's
apparently the only one. Right. Well, even that, like, yeah, I don't. I was reading up on it, and apparently Kirk is the only one that's ever beaten it. But the only way that he beat it was by hacking the computer. I'm like, I don't feel like that's really beating it.
And he got an accommodation for original thinking. Well, the problem.
But I mean, I'm sure other people thought of that, but they were like, I don't want to cheat.
Right. Exactly. But and I think. But the question then becomes, when he really did face the Kobayashi Maru, when he was with Khan, and he lost Spock, and the whole, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of would have gone through the Kobayashi Maru the way you were supposed to, and lose it. Would that have made it any easier for him to lose Spock? Like,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. To actually have to go through it, right?
Let's see. The brothers said that they do not have that much of a budget for the show.
Oh, see, there you go.
There you go. All right, Clue. That's what I love about Prodigy. We get to converse directly with so many of the creators.
Yeah, that's true. That's great about the Star Trek Now, right? Is the people are actually there, so we can be like, so what the hell?
Like, what the hell did you mean by that? Yeah, it is. It's great that they're so open, like between the interviews that they do, and I know a lot of them are active on social media, so you don't have to wait.
Same for Lower Decks guy. He's a huge Star Trek fan and loves talking about it, which I love.
Oh, look who showed up!
Anne-Marie! I'm not laughing. I don't know why I'm laughing. My laughter is from joy, and you saying yes. I don't want Anne-Marie to think that I just start laughing at her when she comes in the room. I love you. Hi.
Well, you know what? Anne-Marie's the perfect segue for the other thing that we have going on, which is Virtual TrekCon 3.
Yes.
3. We are so excited to once again be involved with all the amazing people over at Virtual TrekCon. Anne-Marie, please don't ask me to name them. When Melissa was here last week, Ryan was here as Virtual TrekCon, and he dared me to name all the people that make up Virtual TrekCon. And I did it. Melissa did help. She dropped a couple of hints, but I did it. But yeah, I'm not doing that again. No more quizzes for the host of the show this week.
No more quizzes.
It's my show. Moratorium on quizzes. But we are so excited. The group, Lambda Quadrant, has been talking very adamantly about some amazing panel ideas that we have.
Yeah.
We love Anne-Marie and Virtual TrekCon too. That's why we're so excited. This is our third straight Virtual TrekCon. They say Virtual TrekCon. We say we're there. We did one of the mini ones back in December.
Yeah, that's right.
We did the mini one. So we've got at least right now 2 panel ideas that we're fleshing out right now. We'll probably have at least 2 more. I think that's not saying too much. And then of course we offered to help with the Lappy Awards. We'll see if that happens.
Yeah, we're glad to do whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait for the Lappy Awards, which
that'll be fun to see. Yeah.
The voting, Anne-Marie can answer to this because I should have. I didn't look it up. Bad me. Anne Marie, is the voting for the final round for the Lappy Awards up yet? Because they're doing Google Docs. So it's kind of sort of the honor system. Because if you have like multiple emails, you can vote multiple times, but they really only want you to vote once.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about making Podcat his own email address. So Podcat can vote. He can just vote for Grudge in the one category, and then
Tomorrow they announce the nominees. Awesome.
Yay! And that's on the main viewers. Let's see, the main viewers YouTube page. So if you guys aren't subscribed, you can head over after this is over. Head over to look at that. See, talk about him, and there he is, Podcat. But yeah, if you go over to the main viewer, and you subscribe to their channel, then you'll find out. I was there last week when they were talking about the nominees. They were talking about all the categories and the nominees, and Enterprise. Out of all the categories that they were talking about, Enterprise ended up in one, which was Scariest Track. They are one of the top 6 nominees for Scariest Track. For Impulse, the one where they go to the zombie Vulcan ship, because that's fucking scary.
Oh yeah, I agree with that one.
That's
Yeah,
fucking scary.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. So the Fave family poll is the last remaining preliminary poll. Open on Facebook. Closes in 4 hours. It's all over the place. Again, Virtual TrekCon on Facebook. You can find it there. The main viewer. Let's see. My autocorrect is my brain. Blue says, oh, nope, wait. Autocorrect is my brain. It's miswired. Adds weird word in the sentence. Been there, done that. Let's see. Virtual TrekCon YouTube page at 8 p.m. Oh, it is Virtual TrekCon YouTube page. Sorry. Then we'll announce how to vote for the final round. Cool. Yay. Yay. And like I said, let's see. Enterprise isn't having a better showing. Yes, me too. But then again, I mean, we all should tune in tomorrow night and see what else they've got going on. Who else made final rounds? So okay. Podcat, come on. I love these guys, but sometimes when they go to get comfortable, they like dig into my leg.
Yeah.
But see, Podcat, do you want to vote?
This is comfortable for you, right?
He wants to vote, right? You want to vote for all the Enterprise shows, right? Of course you do.
He doesn't care. Cats don't care.
This one does. If you feed them enough treats, they'll start to care.
Oh, that's true. That's true. For a short time.
Vote for Enterprise. Get a treat. Hit the right button and you get a treat. But yeah, so it works out. That's March 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. So it's actually going to be over Connor Trinneer's birthday, because Connor's birthday is March 19th.
Oh, that's great.
So I've already made a big deal about they better do something for Connor's birthday. And then the Lappies are on the 20th, the Sunday, and then it wraps up on Monday the 21st. So yeah, Anne Marie, get on that. Like a virtual birthday cake, or somebody invite him to come on the show and we can all sing happy birthday to him or something. I don't know. Do something. Something. Oh, see, Enterprise is so Oh, now we got a problem, Borg Queen.
Oh dear.
Oh, now we got a problem.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Stephanie, you know you're the only person that likes that song. It's okay.
I am not the only person that likes that song. Honestly, it's about a 50-50 split. If you go into the Enterprise Facebook pages, there are other people besides myself that like it.
I'm just messing with you.
All right. This is me tooting my own horn, and I own that right now. But you were there in 2019 at karaoke, and I did get a standing ovation when I finished singing the theme song. It's on video. You can't lie.
Sure. Also, everyone was drunk.
Thank you so much for your support. But no, I'm sorry. Honestly, let's admit it. No. Let's flip this. You're right. They were drunk. But if they hated that song and they were drunk, then they would have had no problem booing either. For that song, if you hate it and you were drunk, I think you probably would have.
I don't think that people hate it. I think people are just okay. And everyone was drunk.
Well, there you go.
See? Awful, but you're going to sing it every time.
So what? So, Borg Queen, are you saying that you don't just hit skip? because there's like that skip intro thing that like that's the one show that I won't do that on.
That's hilarious. The one show? Oh no, there's several. I won't do it on TNG.
I do it on all the other Star Trek shows.
No, never.
All the other Star Trek shows. Trying to think. Yeah, I pretty much do it on every show but Enterprise, regardless of what it is. Regardless of what it is. So I don't know about you guys, but no, Where My Heart Will Take Me is just I love it. It's everywhere. It's the default alarm on my Alexa, because I do all my alarms now for my Alexa. So whenever my Alexa wakes me up, that's what she plays.
That'll get you up.
It will. But what's really funny is, I don't know if anybody else out there has one. I know, Randy, you do, but have you ever asked it to set an alarm for you, or are you old school with an actual clock or your phone?
What do you mean?
Alexa will set an alarm. You can tell Alexa to wake you up.
Oh yeah, no, I do it with my phone. I have had her do it before, but I
right. Well, so it used to have to be like, because she's got her own alarm. Like if you just say, Alexa, wake me up at X time.
Right. She's like boom boom boom. Yeah, it's just a noise. Yeah.
Right. So, but you can also, like if you have Spotify, you can tell it to wake it up. You can tell it to wake you up to a song.
To a song. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, if it's got access to like Spotify or whatever.
Gotcha. Okay.
So when I would wake up, I started telling the one in my bedroom to wake me up to that song, and I did it so much that eventually she actually said, "Do you want to make this your default alarm?"
Oh my God, that's so funny. She's like, "Why don't you just go ahead?
And why don't we just make this your default?
Let's just do it."
And so now all I have to do is tell her what time to wake me up, and that's the default
funny.
Alarm. Yeah. All right. Borg Queen says, "It's been a long road, not long enough." Ha ha. Blue says, "I don't skip intros on first watch." Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The only other one I will say right now, I have the Imperial March is my main ringtone, but I've got like 6 or 7 different emails on my phone. So I've chopped up Where My Heart Will Take Me into bits and pieces. So that's actually my email alert. Different parts of the song are different email alerts. Star Wars, the Star Wars main theme is one of my email alerts. My orthopedist, I forgot to mute my phone the last time I was in his office, and it went off with Star Wars. He's like, "I'm going to think of you every time I hear that song," because my phone would go off. Peacemaker. Is anybody watching Peacemaker? It's the new DC show on HBO Max. Peacemaker was one of the characters from the second Suicide Squad movie. And so he's got his own very kind of The Boys vibe. I don't know if do you watch The Boys on Prime, Amazon Prime? Mm-mm. It's got a very The Boys vibe, like very dark hero, anti-hero kind of thing. That theme, I don't think I will be skipping, because it's John Cena in this really atrocious superhero costume doing a dance. It's on do you have HBO Max?
Uh-huh.
Just I'm not even going to tell you to add that. Don't watch it. If you've never seen it, you won't get it. Just watch it for the theme where John Cena comes out and does the dance, because it's just worth it.
Okay, sure.
For that. But yeah, I might. Let's see. What else? I had it in my ringtone. Let's see. Roundabout has been my ringtone forever. Gotta have him. There you go. Let's see. I've seen the free first episode. For Peacemaker, yeah. Peacemaker's good, but it's dark and it's raw. It's definitely, as Ethan Phillips would probably call it, it's very blue. It's very kind of, but I mean, he had sex like the first day he got out of jail. He had sex, and then the woman he had sex with tried to kill him, and she was like stabbing him all over her apartment. I mean, it's very raw, but it's good. Wait, hold on. Blue says, "I just the last 5 episodes of Expanse." I'll have to find Peacemaker later. That is totally fine. Like I said, it is not going to be for everybody. You should. I mean, but it's a spinoff of the second Suicide Squad movie. So probably not a bad idea, if you haven't already, to go out and see the Suicide Squad movie so you have a point of reference. That would be my recommendation. But yeah, like I said, it's John Cena, just the dance. Just the dance. That's all I'm going to say, because I am trying to be very spoiler free. Blue is typing one-handed and eating pizza. Again with the pizza!
Not
I mean, I
fair.
love that you're here, but stop rubbing in that you're having pizza. Oh my god, have you guys seen Little Caesars has a Batman pizza calzone thing now?
Yeah, and I
Because
saw a picture of it, and it just looks like a blob.
yeah, it's supposed to. It's like the pizza, and then they put calzones on the it's like curved in, so it's supposed to be like the bat signal.
It looks gross.
Little Caesars. I mean, if you really need a pizza for $6, it's not a bad deal. But yeah, that
Not a
one
bad
looks just
deal.
weird.
That's true.
Not a bad deal. I've been craving pepperoni. If I crave pepperoni pizza, $6, take a whole one home.
It's fair.
It's fair. It's good to go. It's not the best, but it's not the worst.
But it's $6.
And for $6, what are you gonna
True.
do?
True.
All right. I think is there anything else? Let's see. We've talked about Virtual TrekCon and Gallifrey 1
Yeah.
and Kobayashi Maru
Yeah.
and how awesome Lambda Quadrant is.
Yeah.
And that we're really excited that the cruise is leaving out of LA next year because we're hoping
To be able
be
to
on
go.
it. We're crossing our fingers because we would love
If
to
not, maybe unofficially, even for any of us that want to decide to go. It's just as citizens.
Yeah, exactly. Just citizens of the world. I mean, I've been on it. I'm thinking.
I've never been. I want to go.
I know, and you need to go. And the boat has a Starbucks and a Johnny Rockets. So,
Doesn't matter.
how exactly do you join
Twitter?
the project? So it's difficult to figure out what's the haps. Just follow us on the socials. So Twitter, we have a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
We've got everything, and everything we do is really easy. It's
She was consistent.
See, I wonder who put all that together and figured out that that's the best way to like brand stuff. I wonder.
I went looking before I officially named it. I was like, okay, let me make sure all the socials are available.
And look at that, they were.
And they were.
So so follow us everywhere, and you'll find out what we're going to be doing for Virtual TrekCon. And
Yeah, if you don't have Facebook, Twitter is the next best thing for announcements because everything will go there too.
Yeah, because whoever's doing your social media, always make sure that all the announcements go to both. Yeah, I wonder who's doing that. Pretty on the ball. Pretty on the ball, if you ask me.
True.
But so just follow us on the socials, and like I said, follow Virtual TrekCon, and we'll let everybody know what's going on with the Gallifrey and all that fun stuff. But I mean, almost Melissa Longo time. It's 20 after, and she and I went to 20 of last week.
Oh, nice.
So we almost bumped up to the Melissa Longo time. But then again, like I said, we had Virtual TrekCon asking me quiz questions. So.
Oh, there you go.
So things were a little different last week. But Randy, thank you. And thank you for confirming that my couch is still there.
Still there, ready and waiting.
I'm so excited. I don't know what I'm more excited about, Gallifrey or just getting to LA. Because
It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's always fun hanging out with you guys, plus warm weather. Oh, thank you, Blue.
Thank you. Watch there for all the fun stuff that we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll like I said, we'll let you guys know what exactly we're doing at Virtual TrekCon. So let's see. Hold on. We need to compile a big list of links to all Star Trek things.
That sounds like a tall order.
That sounds like something somebody would literally have to dedicate their lives to
right
for, a month. And then and it always keeps changing.
That's a lot, yeah.
But that is a lot. But you are the Borg queen, so if you have some Borg drones that are looking for something to do with their processing power, I think that's the best, most efficient way to do it is just get some Borgs on that.
Smart.
Or a sonic screwdriver, because those are pretty quick.
It does everything, yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's really good at opening doors. Well, thank you so much, Robert. And, okay, Ranry. Thank you, Anne-Marie, for coming by.
Yes.
Always good to see you. Yeah, see, there you go. I would do it for money, too.
A lot of people would, right, yeah. Who's paying, though?
But, yeah, somebody asked Roddenberry if they want a comprehensive list of,
oh, my God.
Of stuff. There you go.
You can give you a comprehensive list of the official ones, StarTrek.com.
There you go. Exactly. One love. We all love Trek in all its different forms. Unless it's Voyager. No, kidding. Totally kidding. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, as always, every week. Next week, I actually have the topic. I'm going to be talking about and reviewing. Oh my God, this could really get me in hot water. But I am going to be reviewing the Shuttle Pod show next week. Hopefully, it's good. No, it'll be good. It'll be fun. I'm sure. I don't know if it's going to be live, but if there's a chat involved, look for me there because we'll all just show the guys our Enterprise love. And everybody, have a great night. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, as always. And you know what? You can find me everywhere on the socials at NX7062 because that one wasn't taken either. So, everybody, have a great night. Be safe, and I will see you all next week. And until then, live long and prosper.
This is Nicole DeBoer, and you've been listening to the NX7062 podcast.